Hello again. I'm being active again right now. I'm going through a phase of being active, and that is a good thing. A few months ago, I have drawn attention on my website that paradoxes of self reference, which were a great preoccupation for people like Russell and Wittgenstein, could present, as used by the philosophers in question, a measure of depth that was not to be expected by people studying them these days. I have allocated myself a great portion of my graduate degree to the study of logicism, and I have spent something like 8 to 12 months particularly on Russell and Wittgenstein. Yet I only understood the real connection when I played this recording something like 6 years after my graduation.
One last question. Suppose, Lord Russell, this film were to be looked at by our descendants, like a Dead Sea Scroll in 1,000 years' time. What would you think it's worth telling that generation about the life you've lived and the lessons you've learned from it?
Yes, this is the recording in question. And okay, I did not get it immediately, not even after listening to this recording. But it is this recording that sort of sparked my attention about the possible depth of the discourse that these philosophers had at the beginning of the last century. The real idea behind these logical puzzles is as follows. Acting consistently in a damaging way to others, or better said, indulging in evil doing with the specific intention of doing evil is, in fact, a contradiction for the very simple fact that it only takes one time for the joke to be on yourself. That is, evil doing on purpose is a terrible, terrible defect in reasoning. In other words, the golden rule stands. Treat people as you'd like to be treated. This is what the Barber paradox refers to. This is what Russell's paradox refers to. And this is what the liar's paradox refers to in particular. For if we assume a way of communication that is consistently reversing truth for falsity, then how are we to actually tell a lie in this extremely weird system of language? This is not a philosophy without depth. This is, in fact, a great achievement of human thought, and it is also tongue-in-cheek, very much so. For it is my creed also that some of the things that are actually taking place are symptoms of simply being a retard. Some of the things actually taking place around us would make Beavis and Butthead look like academics, to say the least. At least that is my position on these facts. So what's next? You're going to ask me, perhaps. What is it that you're going to say next? You're going to say the Bible is true. You're going to say God exists. You are going to actually say that the good is identical to the beautiful, perhaps? And I'll say, yes. That's precisely what I'm going to say. Yes, to all of these suppositions.